Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Inclusion Matters podcast with Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Hey, sorry we've been off for the last 4 days, but we weren't sure if the Messiah was actually going to make it and come back to us, or if he was going to be stuck in Kaiser Permanente due to their strike for the next month and a half. So we're actually glad he's back with us tonight. Unfortunately, he might be a little bit shorter of his manhood because they may or may not have snipped his manhood when he was there on accident, thinking it was his back.
Oh, yeah. No wonder my voice is a little bit higher than it was before.
So, and of course, we're joined as always by Principal Tapass, who thinks he must be Oscar the Grouch tonight because he's wearing that green shirt. But
sitting in a garbage can.
But I mean. Truth be told, he's just going to be a big fat loser also because his Dodgers are going to lose to the Diamondbacks in this round of the playoffs, and it's going to be the Diamondbacks and the Braves for the National League pennant. That's right, I'm calling it first. Diamondbacks in 5. That's right, in 5.
Oh, come on, Heartbreaker. He's got the Diamondbacks. You got the Phillies.
So and I'm saying the Braves in 7 because I don't like the Phillies. I don't like the Phillies. But I'm being nicer to the Diamondbacks because who do they have to pitch after Kershaw? Really? I mean,
well, he's not wrong.
I'm actually being nice. But, it's not about us and our little bitterness. Okay, well, maybe it is. But I'd like to welcome our guest, the Godfather of Swole, to the podcast with us tonight. So why don't you introduce yourself and we'll get this interview going. And Principal Tap and Messiah, shut the hell up so the man can talk.
That's right, brother. Thank you. And I am the Godfather of Swole, Don Swole Leon. I am the current next level pro wrestling heavyweight champion. Eat your heart out, everybody. That's mine right here.
Nice.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing but. So,
well, thank you for having me over here.
I'm going to be nice since he's feeling himself today and let the Heartbreaker start with the question.
All right, shoot away.
Well, I'm glad because I was the one that led this podcast and our promotion while you were getting your nuts snipped. So you're right. Maybe you should hand it over to me.
Well, you're laying on the job.
Literally, I was.
So, can you tell us some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
My wrestling hero. Okay, so I am 46 years old, brother. So I grew up on Hulkamania. I saw it when it was born, and I saw it all the way through, and I'm still a Hulkamaniac. Give me my Hulk. Where do you go, Heartbreaker?
Oh, he just...
You didn't like my answer?
He might... There you go. He's back. He was just getting
I'm here.
He's got one of the... I had one of those, too.
This was mine.
I think I still do somewhere.
He's never beat me before. Say what's up, brother.
So, okay, what's your number one Hulk Hogan memory when you were growing up?
Well, I think it's have to be WrestleMania 6 because that was that was back in 90, 91? I think it was 90, right?
90, yeah.
I was 13 years old, and the whole man. You think that the country was divided during the last election, man? WrestleMania 6, okay? When I was in junior high, the whole country, the playground, everybody at school was divided, brother. They didn't know whether to choose the Hulkster or the Warrior. I was a Hulkamania. I had to go with my man. So watching him drop the belt clean to the Warrior was a big deal back then to me. Probably it's still my favorite match of all time.
Well, you want to know Messiah's favorite memory of the Hulkamania? When he got turned down for an autograph session from Hulkamania and found out it was actually $1,000.
Oh, no way.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Messiah.
Did you tell him you got snipped?
Well, that was before I got snipped.
Okay.
He put something on Facebook that said, "Send in your memorabilia and I'll sign it and send it back." Right? And I had one of those Hulk Hogan like America shirts, with like the flag in the background. So I contacted his business partner and was gonna send it in. And they're like, "Oh yeah, well just send us $150 plus pay for the shipping and handling back and forth, and we'll have them sign it and send it back." And I went, "No, because that's not what you said in the Facebook. You just said send the,
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry about that.
I was kind of bummed out about that because I was like, if you're gonna do that, at least put it in the Facebook thing so people know.
Yeah.
That they can make a decision on. Like,
oh man, no wonder the Iron Sheik says, "Fuck that jabroni Hogan," right?
All right, Tap Ass. Try not to kill him with top 5 questions or favorite SummerSlam moment or some shit like that. Ask a reasonable fucking question for once.
Come on, you guys mean anything? No, nothing's
just
off
slap
limits.
yourself in detention.
What's that?
I told the Heartbreaker go to detention.
I've been a lifelong fans, guys. My first memory. This is how I got into how I fell in love with wrestling. I was 7 years old. I was at my cousin's birthday party, and they were watching the event where Hogan won the belt. He wasn't even the main event in that event, I believe. It was Andre, I think. He wrestled in the middle of the card when he beat the Sheik. And it was on TV, and I'm like, what is this stuff? And I was just like a little kid, just mesmerized by these big old athletes doing all this. I didn't know what they were doing. I was just like, who are these guys? What is this? Or my cousin explained it to me. The birthday party's going on, and I'm not even paying attention. I don't care about the piñatas, the cake, whatever's going on. I'm watching wrestling, man. And then this dude comes out and beats Iron Sheik, wins the belt, and I was hooked. And I was like, "Where do I watch more of this?" And that's how it happened. So that's how long I've been a fan. And I'm 46 years old, and I just started wrestling professionally about a year and a half ago.
My question is,
not training.
What do you base your style of wrestling off of? Powerhouse, technical, or
no, not technical at all. I mean, I come from a bodybuilding background. I was a bodybuilder right before I got into wrestling, so I had the look. So, I stole from Hogan, Warrior, Rick Rude, all the guys that had physiques, and just, clotheslines and slams and brawling, using power and strength and brawling, man. I'm too old to be doing all that technical stuff, man. Unless you call a headlock and a wrist lock a technical, but no, man, I don't do that stuff.
All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
All right, help us with the age-old debate. In your personal opinion, who's the best wrestler turned actor?
You know what? The current guys that are acting right now, like
anybody, any wrestler that's an actor. It can be anybody in your.
I think Batista's actually probably, because he's doing roles that are not necessarily like the big guy. He's doing more like he's a dad in a movie. He's a monster in another one. He just has different kind of roles, not just the superhero or the what you would call traditional role for the guy his size. You know what I mean? He's ventured off out of his comfort zone, in my opinion. Some of those movies he's done. I think he's pretty good.
I do know what you mean, and Batista almost caused a miracle for me. I was watching his last movie, or not his last movie, but the movie in the cabin, whatever. And I live in a nursing home, and they turn all the lights off at a certain time, so everybody can sleep. Well, I was so focused on my tablet that I didn't pay attention to somebody walking into the room to see if I was okay. And right at the most suspenseful part, when he's about ready to knock on the door, they tap me on the shoulder. I haven't walked a day in my life. That day, I almost walked.
Oh, you were with that song. I walk a mile.
Yep, almost. I was.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I didn't sleep for the rest of that night. I was awake for the rest of the night. I was ready to go.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That sounds like quite an experience right there.
So, besides the promotion that you're the champion, and what other promotions do you work for or have you worked for?
Are you familiar with the ones here in most of them here in California? I think I've worked last count in the year and a half about 14 of them.
Wow, I know
So
a
I've been
few
all
in
over the place,
California.
man. What was that?
I know a few in California, like Amped Wrestling and I just lost it. And
I've worked for TWF, ACW,
yep,
CWA. Man, all these acronyms. CCW.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's been so many. There's been so many. And Lucha Extreme, Dark Arts in Las Vegas with Super Beast.
Ooh,
Man, I'm forgetting a whole bunch of them, but I've East Bay Pro in the Bay Area.
Mm.
It's been a bunch of them, man. I've been having a great time. Everybody's been good to me.
have you ever wrestled in the Pacific Northwest at all?
I haven't. I've only gone most of all of Northern California, Central California, and in Las Vegas.
Oh boy, I know what's coming.
It was just a question.
Why don't you wait and we let Principal Tap Ass ask another boring ass question?
All right, go ahead.
What is your favorite cookie or snack?
My favorite cookie or snack?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Snack, I like a bag of pork rinds. For a cookie, my daughter bakes some really good chocolate chip cookies that I like to eat. I have a 16-year-old. She likes to bake.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I wish my 17-year-old would. That would be nice.
Hey, she baked you those cakes or muffins that one time, remember?
No, that was her mother, remember? That wasn't me. No, in all likelihood, she's a great cook. All right, well, I guess I will start the top 5 questions because, I'm just in that type of fucking mood today.
Oh, all right.
Oh, he's getting feisty now.
True. We're getting TVMA now. All right.
But before I ask my next question,
yes,
I
sir.
would be remiss not to thank our sponsors. And yes, we haven't done this in a while, so please forgive me if I get any of them wrong or I forget one or two because I am getting old.
Hey, you said it, I didn't.
Hey, I'm proud to admit I'm getting old, But hey, thank you, Kevin Watson, American Family Insurance. Thank you, Doty Tattoo Gallery Tattoo. Thank you to Bruno's Pizza, to El Ranchero's Mexican Restaurant, to Precision Power Washing, to the Care Program, to Bruce Nichols Painting, to Twin Cities Bank, to Burgerville of Kelso Longview, to Bob's Little Car Hospital, and to one that I want to just speak on for a minute, and then if I forget any, you guys can fill me in. Las Jalapenos Taqueria. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 days or 5 days ago, a heinous event happened to that restaurant. Somebody broke into that restaurant, and that company has not been open for the last 4 days.
Oh, man.
So to the thieves that broke into that company, Inclusion Pro Wrestling, we are here for you, and we are going to help you rebuild. And we are proud to offer you either a before party meet and greet or after party at our show on the 25th of November. And we're hoping that we can get you guys enough business to get back onto your feet. So, again, rant over. Guys, did I miss anybody?
American Tarp's Rugged Maid.
Well, look at you, Mr. Paint fucking drying. You've been gone for 4 days getting snipped, and you think you're better than me.
Well, you know, that changes a man.
Oh man.
So, my question is, top 5 male wrestlers of all time.
My top
Perfect
5.
follow-up question to that, by the way.
My top 5. Okay, here's my Mount Rushmore. Let's see. Hogan, Steve Austin, John Cena, Ric Flair. And I'm gonna put HBK up there. Those are my favorite, though. That doesn't mean that list is right, man. Because
Well, it is in your opinion. So,
Very nice.
yeah, and I can't argue with a fellow Braves member from the 1990s. You know, I can't argue with that list. That's right. He might live in Sacramento now, but he watched the Braves growing up, as I did as a kid.
on TBS, man.
As I did as a kid. You know, America's team. Now, listen to that, boys. It wasn't the Dodgers, and it wasn't the fucking Mariners. It was the Atlanta fucking Braves. That's right. Anyways, rant over. Next up, crippled Snip Messiah.
You're not going to let that down, are you, today? All right, top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Oh man, top 5. All right. My favorite was China.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm just talking about the ones I think I'm more about the ones now than the past, because in the past it was just TNA and, you know, what I grew up on or saw in the Attitude Era was not much of wrestling. So actually workers, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley right now. I'm really into her. She's doing some cool stuff,
yeah.
man. She reminds me a lot of China, because she's just a little more
Good comparison.
character.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Raw yet, but I saw some clips. It looks like she's it's all about her today, right? No, Friday SmackDown, I mean.
Yeah,
Like
Freddie SmackDown. But before Principal Tap answers a question, somebody else into Rhea Ripley? Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Not like that, man. I mean, with her work. I'm a fan of her work. All these ladies. I didn't rank them by the hottest. I ranked them by workers, okay?
Hey, you saved that pretty well. That was a nice setup and a nice save all at the same time.
I'm trying out a new persona here. I've got a month. I've got a month to critique my persona for our show. So I'm trying something new tonight. So bear with me. Okay, Mr. Tap Ass Pillow Head, that we need to use it. We need to use your hair for a mop. You're up.
Bam.
And again, you're both just jealous because I have hair.
Yeah, well,
not really. Because if my hair looked like that, I wouldn't be jealous. I'd be looking for the next barber.
Yeah,
and I'm talking more like Brutus the Barber Beefcake with those big old shears.
And I have nothing to be jealous of because I'm rooting for the next world champions in baseball. So hey,
fair enough.
So do you have a question, or
am I going
to skip your ass out of here?
So, out of these two wrestlers, who is the most overrated, Roman Reigns or Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy by far.
Okay, we can be friends again.
Come on, you guys remember when they were forcing Roman Reigns down everybody's throat? We as a face, nobody wanted him, and he became the tribal chief. Man, look what he's doing, man. He is moving the needle, right? He's not even on TV. Look what he's doing. The whole Bloodline storyline was awesome. It was the best stuff on TV for a while. Had you guys hooked, right? So Orange Cassidy don't do that to me. He don't make me want to watch. I mean, I don't got nothing against the guy, but the hands in the pocket thing for me as a wrestler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know who?
For a guy to go, I'm going to go in the ring with work a match, and I'm going to have my hands in my pocket the whole time, and I'll beat your ass. You know.
Yeah. But you know who the biggest Orange Cassidy fan is on this podcast? It's Mr.
Oh.
Snip Snip Messiah.
Oh, now it makes sense why he snip.
No. We can't hear you, Nathan.
That's your cup of tea. You like that flavor? I mean, that's the beautiful thing about wrestling. I think it was MJF, right? Said there's a different flavor of ice cream for everybody, and that's what is true about it. You know, like I'm not a death match guy. I don't really care for that, but my son loves it. You know, my brother loves that. I'm more of the 80s, 90s. Give me a Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect match. You know, that's what I like to watch. Stuff like that, you know?
Well, here, yeah. Exactly. Same here. You know, but if we could steal another line from MJF, since you brought up MJF anyway, hey, Messiah, I see that pubic hair is still painted on your face.
Well, they had to put it somewhere after they snipped my manhood, remember?
So, anyway, let's get back on with the questions. Let's see here. Your pre and your post-match routine.
Okay, so in the locker room, before I match, I don't eat. I have breakfast in the morning, that's it. I don't eat the rest of the day. I have a fear of going in the restroom or something happening to me in the restroom or having an upset stomach in the ring, and then I crap all over myself because I've heard of stories of performers, they crap themselves in the ring sometimes. It happens. I don't want that to ever happen to me. So that's a phobia I have. So I don't eat. I just hydrate and I stretch like crazy the whole time I'm back there. I'm just stretching in the back. You know, I'm hanging out with everybody. That is my pre-match routine. After, whoever I worked with, if they're into adult beverages, I have an adult beverage or two with whomever I worked with to say my way of saying thank you for the match and thank you for taking care of me. You know, so that's what I do.
Very nice.
You know the Messiah's pre and post match routine? God, Yvonne, don't hit me with a kendo stick. After the match, fuck, Yvonne hit me with a kendo stick.
Yep, there's a story that goes behind that, but
Tell it.
Yeah, you might as well just tell it now since
We're here.
So we're having a show for the promotion that we're all putting together on the November 25th and the promotion's called Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And Yvonne Seaver is the first female owner / promoter in Washington. And so, being kind of a heel on here sometimes, I got on her because she likes to swing a kendo stick at people. And she's got like tiny little olive oil arms, from the Popeye cartoon. So I told her, I was like, well, you better be careful swinging the kendo stick with those tiny little olive oil arms. You might break a nail or, mess up that hair that you got on top of your head. Or, maybe break an arm. Who knows? Those things are tiny, like twigs. Apparently, I ran my mouth too much because at Inclusion Pro Wrestling, she's going to hit me with a kendo stick.
Oh. That's going to go over well. Hit somebody with cerebral palsy with a kendo stick. She's going to get some heat.
It's okay. I think she likes it when she gets heat.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's good. You're going to get a good reaction out of that. That's going to get you some, that's going to go viral, man, if you record that. So November, what is your show?
November 25th.
Right on. So this is your first show you guys put together?
Yep.
Our very first inaugural show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, man.
Thank you. And while we're on the subject, let me give you kind of the backstory on that, if you don't mind.
Of course
Before you talk about that, Messiah, you no longer sound good talking. Just remember, you now sound like paint drying. So make it quick or you're begging for me to sleep.
Well, take a nap then. So 20 years ago, well, actually more than that now, I went to a wrestling school in Kelso
Uh-huh.
and was told that I couldn't do anything in wrestling because I was in a wheelchair, right? Because wrestling's physical and, you know,
Uh-huh.
the two don't mix. Well, I'm the type of person that if you tell me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it even more because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now I got to prove you wrong. So I came back every day and they made me a commentator and a booker, but I think they did that just to get me to shut up. So I stopped, complaining. And that lasted for about 2 years. And then it folded. And then 20 years later, I was able to save up enough money with my family and with my Social Security to buy a ring that Roddy Piper wrestled in.
Oh, wow.
And so we're going to do Inclusion Pro Wrestling with the mission statement of nobody gets turned away. Like if you want to come to our shows and you want to try, get there before the show and you want to try out stuff in the ring to see if this is your dream, by all means, right?
Yeah.
And if 5 minutes into it you decide it's not for you, fine. But at least you gave it a shot for,
Yeah, once you take your first bump, you'll find out if it's for you or not.
Exactly. So that's our mission statement: is never anybody gets turned away, and we're going to put on some of the best shows in Washington.
That's awesome, brother. That is so awesome. I'm happy.
And ladies and gentlemen, this segment was brought to you by Miller Paint, so you can watch paint dry.
Yeah, careful. I know where that doctor got those scissors to snip my manhood. I might go after that mustache you love so much.
So I forgot whose question it is. So I believe it's Messiah's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it
what's the craziest match you've ever been in?
I think the craziest match I've ever been in, I don't know what I call it crazy, was the night I won the belt. I was in a steel cage. That was a lot of fun. We beat the shit out of each other. I looked like Cody Rhodes after the match. From here to here, it was all purple, and the pictures were gnarly, man. So it was a fun time. I'm about to have on the 21st of this month a dog collar match with the man that trained me, Tony Vargas. So I'm looking forward to that. Now that one's going to be probably the craziest thing I've ever done because, you see Piper and Valentine dog collar.
Yep.
Well, we're going to top that. So,
Wow.
So ask me in a couple of weeks. Follow up on me.
I will, because I got to give you credit for setting the bar that high. Because Piper and Valentine had one hell of a dog collar.
Yeah, I also did a chairs, tables chairs match with Juicy Finau and Journey Fatu, and they beat the shit out of me with chairs and all. That was fun. But nothing too crazy yet. The one I'm about to have, I think, will probably be the craziest match I ever had.
Yeah, those dog collar matches can be out of control.
Yeah.
So Principal Tap, if you have a question, you can get away from your secretary, Heather, enough, then you can ask your question.
Heather?
Hey, it was just a name I came up with. What can I say? I'm doing my stuff tonight. I'm doing my thing tonight, damn it. Leave me alone.
In your opinion, who is the better wrestler between, let's say, Ric Flair and John Cena?
Well, you're talking about wrestling?
Yes.
We're talking about who made more money, who sold out WrestleMania.
I'm talking about championship wise.
Oh.
All right. I grew up on Flair, but Cena is the GOAT. And I'll go not just on championships, okay? I'm talking about drawing power, but he holds the record by far for the most Make-A-Wish, whatever you call it. He grants for the kids.
Yep.
For the kids.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay. I don't know if Ric Flair's ever even done one. I'm sure he has. I'm sure there's kids that wanted to meet Ric Flair sober or something. But
That's like,
but because of that, I mean, you don't turn the kids down. He's everywhere. He was, you know, I mean, the dude was WWE, the top guy for like over 10 years. I mean, nobody had a longer run than him. You know, I just went to go see him on Friday. He came. Well, that's why I got the shirt. They came to SmackDown. I took my 19-year-old son to go see him, and he was acting like he was 7 again when he came out. You know,
Nice.
So, in my opinion, the Cena's the GOAT. But if you're talking about wrestling, like in the ring, well, Ric Flair. You know, I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes
No,
sense.
it does.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
And that was a great explanation on that too, because I completely agree with that. So.
Thank you.
And it didn't make it sound like paint drying either. That was a very entertaining answer to that.
He only calls me paint drying because he doesn't look this good.
I've got a week's worth of material to get out of, okay? I'm sorry. So, you know, let's give the tag team some love. So let's do your top 5 tag teams of all time in your opinion.
Oh, I gotta go 80s, 90s. My favorite all time for me personally was the British Bulldogs.
Ooh.
Okay. The Hart Foundation. Demolition. I was a big Demolition mark. Legion of Doom. And I have to go one of those Mid-South teams, either Rock and Roll Express or the Midnight Express from back in those days. Or even the Freebirds. But
Very good choices. All right, Snippy. It's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hard one.
Of course, you always do.
Putting your Booker hat on. If
Oh,
you were
no.
the promoter and you had to make a WrestleMania match from any generation, no questions asked, indies are available, 6 matches, who would be on the card?
how many matches?
6.
6?
Yep.
My main event is going to be one that never happened, that should have happened. Hogan versus Stone Cold.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, that's my main right there. And then we got to have Roman and Rock.
Ooh, yeah.
The ladies, let's see. You got to have Rhea and China. That's 3, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
3.
And then Undertaker and Andre.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's my big guys.
Ooh.
In a tag match. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing this again. It'll be the Bulldogs against the Hart Foundation for the tag titles.
Yes.
And the Intercontinental Championship. Macho Man Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat will run it back.
Oh.
I think a lot of people would love to have seen a Steamboat Savage 2 match.
Yeah,
Damn
I
right.
would have. And of course, Ric Flair. I don't know who Ric Flair would work with that match. Probably Sting. Is probably, we can have that again.
Yeah.
Sting and Flair at Mania.
There you go.
But,
All right, Heather, you can get up from underneath of his desk now, and Principal Tap, you can ask a question.
You're just jealous. Okay, I'm going to throw a really cool match in here.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against a young Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and Roll Express, speed, and just because of the double team stuff that they do. I mean, nobody does stuff like that no more. Double drop kicks, double everything, and just in and out tag, quick tags, and just the speed. I don't know if Cody can work that fast. Maybe I
Man.
don't know. I would go old school, but that's just me. Eventually, they do some sunset flip roll up for the finish. It would not be a finisher. It would be somehow a small package victory. You know, it could have gone either way. But I would take the veteran tag team. I mean, you know, that cohesive tag team. Somebody's worked together longer.
I agree with both of those points.
And they were
I don't
so
think-
over, as you know,
Yes.
when they were young. All the girls were cheering for those guys.
Heck, even in the NWA, people still cheer for Ricky Morton.
He's still wrestling, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he
with
wrestled
his son.
sometimes with his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something else, man.
All right, so let's see here. For the betterment of this question, I guess, because we're kind of trying to debate if we're going to do this or not. What are your thoughts on a woman holding the heavyweight championship for a promotion?
If you can bill her to make it credible, like how they did China with the Intercontinental belt, it was actually kind of believable, right? That she can kick Jeff Jarrett's ass. You know, so as long as they can do it that way, and it's not one of those bikini models or whatever, and you know they make a mockery out of it or something, I'm for it as long as it makes sense. You know, I mean it's 2023, guys. It'll happen eventually with the right person. I think, you know, I could see them do it at Rhea, and they would, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with it if done right.
I could see that too.
I knew he was going to go that way, and I could see that too.
Yeah.
All right, snippity snip snip. It's your turn, and watch out. There's scissors right beside you.
Where? Still having flashbacks. So, top 5 managers of all time.
All right. I can't put them in order, but Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, obviously Paul Heyman. He's taking it to a whole nother level. I was a Slick fan. He was just so good at what he did. And Sherry Martel. Oh man, scary Sherry. She was just, to me, probably my favorite one is probably her. Because anybody she worked with, she got them over. You know, and they became champs and they did some good stuff. Shawn Michaels, Harlem Heat. I mean, Macho Man. I mean, she was awesome.
Yeah, her work with Shawn Michaels was brilliant.
That was probably one of my favorite stuff was with him. Yeah.
All right, Tap. You can leave Oscar under the table. It's his turn.
I'm going to throw a fatal 4-way question out.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm throwing a fatal 4-way question.
Fatal 4-way?
Yep.
What's the question?
I'm going to throw who would win between you, I'm going to call him Papa Shango instead of the Godfather. Rick Martel and Jake Roberts.
Ooh.
Well, of course I'm going to win.
Of course.
But this is how. See, Jake Roberts is going to take off with a hoe train. Right? He's going to be distracted with a hoe train. He's probably a little high and impaired, so he's not going to be paying attention. Rick Martel, well, he's all up about himself and how he smells and what was it called? The fragrance was called, what was it called? Arrogance.
Arrogance.
Yep.
right? So while Papa Shango Godfather's looking awake, that Jake the Snake just took the hose and he's going to run down the ramp to get his hose back. My finisher is a spear. While he's looking in his mirror or whatever Rick Martel's doing, I'm just going to hit him with a spear and pin him. That easy as that. It's not that complicated, guys. It's wrestling. Just one spear, this shoulder right here. It's over. See? Well, everybody's got their minds and attention on the hose. I'll be pinning Rick Martel in the middle of the ring.
Sounds like a great match to me.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's my turn again. Oh boy. Cool. Now I get to go into promoter mode. Ladies and gentlemen, as the crippled Snip has been telling you all night, and Principal Tapas has been telling you all night.
Hold on.
Don't interrupt me, crippled Messiah. You know you're
funny to be
shut. You
called
know you're
Mr.
goddamn
Snip
wrong.
Snip
And
by
shut
Harry
the hell
Potter's
up.
grandfather.
All right,
Jinx.
that's it. You're in timeout.
Oh, is it a hockey timeout? Like a hockey penalty box?
You're in timeout.
No, he got sent to detention.
Now, as I was saying, is he coming back? Oh, device not connected. Uh-oh. There he is. Okay, he's coming back. There he is.
Nope. There we go.
Oh, maybe.
I'm back.
Okay, anyways, he's back. So, with that being said, let's talk a little promotion here. Let's talk a little Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
All right,
I'm sure Godfather of Swole would look really good in Inclusion Pro Wrestling in Washington State. And we might actually talk to him about doing that in 2024. That's right. In 2024, we may actually invite the Godfather of Swole to our promotion. But, let's talk about our first inaugural card. That's right, because the very first match out is a Battle Royal. Over-the-top rope style Royal Rumble Battle Royal.
Okay.
It's going to have 18 participants, I believe, in it, and the very last man or woman in that ring will be crowned by former WWE superstar Tucker Knight as our inaugural Cowlitz County champion.
So that's your main champ?
That is our first inaugural champ. It's Cowlitz County champ is. No, that's not our main one because we're gonna have a heavyweight that we're gonna debut later.
Okay, that's gonna be like your mid card champ. Or your,
that's gonna be our mid card.
US belt.
Yep.
That's good.
So the nice thing about this Cowlitz County Championship is the champion, if he can defend his title 5 successful times, gets a chance at any championship, including the tag titles, in the promotion of their choosing.
That's cool. That's a nice incentive there.
So, and we've got a showcase match where we are actually bringing in young talent and showcasing them for a match for people that haven't had a lot of matches. That's for them. So we're having a triple threat showcase match. We have Deontay King Ford coming in and facing off against TNT Tyson Lee. And I guess they've had heat throughout other promotions and they're coming to settle it here at Inclusion. We have there's a couple other matches that we'll announce later, but we're getting to our semi-main event. That's right. Christopher Ryzik, who reminds me a lot of Rick Martel because he looks in that damn mirror all the time and thinks he's the sexiest thing in the world, sexiest man in the world, going up against one of probably the best women wrestlers in the Pacific Northwest in Sunny Days. That's right. Miss Sunny fucking Days, one of the best female wrestlers in the Pacific Northwest. Our main event is Adonis versus CJ Edwards. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a lot of shenanigans in that match. I just promise you that because both of their managers hate each other. That's right. There is so much heat with the two managers at that match. Anything can happen. I hope the church will allow us to have that match because it might blow the roof off the church.
Oh, is it sanctioned or not sanctioned?
It's sanctioned.
Ooh, man.
So
that's what, 6 matches you got so far?
That's
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
And then we have a
Family title.
We have, oh yes, that's right, a family title from a neighboring promotion. It is Good Son Andrew Michelson defending against that confused son who thinks he's a cat because he wrestles by Tomcat.
Tomcat Jones.
Sorry,
of a cat and an old lounge singer.
Sorry, like I said, I've got 5 days of worked up material that I've got to get out. So
yeah.
And then
well,
we have,
you guys have something good going over there, man.
Yep. And then we have one surprise match that we will announce at the show. I can't give that one away. As much as I feel like I want to give it away, I can't give that one away. So with that being said, there's our inaugural card. So
sounds like a good
let
time,
me say
man.
One thing about Adonis. And
you've already said enough about the promotion. Now shut your mouth.
I think you'll appreciate this. The man's like 6'2" and can do a shooting star press flat-footed off the apron.
You said Sam Adonis? You got Sam?
No.
Is that what you said?
Adonis.
Oh, okay.
But to me, that's incredibly impressive to be able to do a flat-footed shooting star press off an apron.
I've never tried one. Not going to. I'll land on my neck like Brock Lesnar.
Hey, I was there for that match. You could hear it crickets in that
wow.
building.
I was in Seattle, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you knew from the crowd, like, he was going to miss. Like, you could see it. You could see that angle was too far away. And you were like, okay, he's going to notice at the last minute and not jump.
Oh.
And then as soon as he jumped, you were like,
Well,
I don't want to see this, but I can't look away.
I don't know how he didn't break his neck, man. That was
I don't know either. I
got to do his neck workout.
Well, you know, it is National Neck Month, you know, if you ask the Kingdom and Roderick Strong.
That's true. So my next question is, what was your, like, oh my God moment in wrestling? Like, and that could be somebody you wrestled or somebody you met that
as
you
a
kind of
fan,
turned into a kid again.
As a fan
as a wrestler,
was
as a fan, or it doesn't matter.
As a fan, because we hadn't seen this yet, because it's gotten crazier since, right? Was when Taker threw Foley off the cage.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, they just killed him. You know? Because he looked, that was like at that time, that was like the biggest, craziest, gnarliest bump I ever seen. Then the match got worse when he went through the cage and broke his teeth and all that, right? But it was like, whoa, this is not wrestling anymore. This is who can kill each other, you know?
Well, yeah, and like you said, the thing with the tooth, I remember watching that. And he turned towards the camera, and I'm like, oh, he's got like something coming out of his nose, and I had to do a double take.
It was his teeth.
Wait a minute, it's his tooth.
Yeah, that one.
Just laughing about it.
Yeah, that one was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, garbage man, what you got?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Well, you're the only one wearing green. It looks like Oscar, so yeah, we're talking to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought you were talking about your turtle wax for your forehead.
You gotta make it look good.
Quit huffing it.
So you got a question?
Actually, I do. What is your best advice for up-and-coming promotion or a new manager?
For upcoming promotion or a new manager, well, Okay, so I guess I'll ask from different. When I joined Next Level, they were probably a year in, but they only had two students in the wrestling school, myself and Irish Rose Kelly Page. Um, so I would say consistency uh, with with everything. When you meet, with your shows, uh, we pretty much started a wrestling school. We got over 20 something students now in a wrestling school when we started with two. And it
Wow.
was just consistency with your program. Surround, to get the right people, to create an environment that people want to belong. For example, you guys are inclusive, right? We we haven't said this before. I'm going to say this openly, publicly right now. We have two students that are autistic.
Oh,
You know,
Very cool.
yeah, two of them, and they're doing great. This is like what makes them feel like they belong, like they, man, I don't even know how to express just the faces, the smiles that these kids, I call them kids because they're younger than me, but they're adults, have from the joy that they get of being able to live their dream, training to be a wrestler, and they're coming along, you know. So we're excited about that. We can't wait for them the day when they debut and we can advertise and show the community that you can be autistic and be a pro wrestler, or anything you want to be. There's no limitations. There's no inclusion. You know what I mean? Anybody can do this when you create the right learning environment for it. So I would say that for a promotion. If you want to have a school, you have to have the right environment for it, the right people. Be patient. Believe in your product. Believe in what you're doing. As far as a manager, consistency and developing your character or who you're trying to be. Be not afraid to try something and it doesn't work. Okay, we'll try something else. Just consistency in character development, consistency and working on the gimmick or on the character that you're trying to become.
All right. Before we answer another question, will have to break character here just for a moment, because I would not live with myself if I did not answer this, if I did not ask you this. When those two autistic students are ready to come out
Gonna say the same thing.
and be public, we would like to showcase them in our showcase division at Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Okay, I'll let them know. I'll let you know how to get in contact with them and a promoter or the trainer, so that they can give you the green light. That's not my call,
No, I know, but
Yeah.
but when they feel they're ready,
Mhm.
and if they need accompaniment, then please, Mr. Godfather of Swole, please come with them, enjoy the promotion with them. But we would love to get them showcased.
That would be awesome. That would
into
I'm
the
sure
inclusion.
they would love to. I'm sure they would love to, and they would jump the opportunity to. As soon as they're ready, we'll let everybody know, because we're going to definitely let everybody know, because we want people to show up and see them do what they've been working so hard to do, to live their
and
dream.
the other nice little caveat to this, as you know, Crippled Messiah has cerebral palsy, wheelchair.
Yep.
Well, he couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Mr. Pat has intellectual disabilities, and he's going to be a manager, and was told that he couldn't do a lot of things in his life.
Yep.
We have a referee who also has intellectual disability. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He is a referee for a indies wrestling promotion. Just like these two men here that have autism and are wrestling, we have a special needs referee in our promotion. That's right.
That's awesome.
This is why we are Inclusion Pro
Mhm.
Wrestling.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
this is why all you haters can go suck our dicks,
Oh shit.
can piss off, and leave us the fuck alone and let us run a goddamn show before you start hating on us.
Well,
Let us show you what we can do for.
surround yourself with people that know what they're doing, guys, that you can trust and they can guide you, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, man. I mean, we do TV once a month, and it's a very long day, and there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on. People don't show, people cancel on you, and you still got to put a show together, you know, and all that. It's. I couldn't imagine being a promoter, the headache that comes with it. I mean, I'm just a worker, you know, and I see the behind the scenes stuff, and I'm just like, man,
I've got a notebook full of shit. So,
but I commend you guys. This is awesome, and hopefully, yeah, one day you guys give me the invite, and I can go over to Washington and see what you guys are all about. That just sounds like an awesome time, something I'd love to be a part of. You know, so
That would be awesome.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Just consistency, and surround yourself with people that know what they're doing and that you can trust. That they're reputable, you know, and are about doing what's right, you know.
And I'm gonna steal a line from John Cena. There's other thing that's important for everybody in wrestling to know, and especially in Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Never give up. Right? You're gonna have to feel like the Heartbreaker said that or tell you all day that you can't do something.
Exactly. Brother, I was 44 years old when I started training. I was told I was too old. I was told that I would never main event. I was told that I'd just be a enhancement for the younger guys and that I'd never make it. Okay? So I use that as motivation. Instead of getting upset and quitting and well, why am I doing this? Yeah, maybe I am too old, and believing that I just worked harder. You know, I just kept working harder. I kept working harder. I you know, consistency. I kept coming back for more. I would get injured, and I train injured, and now
you're
I have the belt. Okay, and I main event all the shows, and I've been doing that for a while now. Okay, and I've been main eventing everywhere else I go. So, and it's not because of anything special that I've done. All I've done was, like John said, I never gave up on my dream. I worked harder than everybody else. I put in the time. You know, nothing was handed to me. I earned every single opportunity that I've had in wrestling so far. You know, and I teach that also to the students that we have. You know, you still got to put in the work. You still got to put in the time. You still got to show up. Nothing's going to be handed to you. You still got to put in the time, and that goes the same for you guys with your promotion. It's going to take a lot of work, as you guys have been seeing. It's a lot of work to put a wrestling show together, you know. So, and it costs money too, you know. And it's like
that it does,
you know, booking the right people and all that stuff. I mean, you guys are learning, you know.
Yes,
as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
And who's the booker? You guys, who's got the books? Is it all three of you guys putting it together, or one of you guys is matchmaker, or how's that work? How do you guys run the promotion?
Go ahead there, Mr. Messiah.
You're Vince McMahon?
Tony and I are the co-owners, and then we have a guy that has 20 years of experience as the booker.
Oh, that's good. See, that's smart. That's a smart business move right there. So you guys should.
And then I'm gonna learn from him, and then eventually, you know, we'll do like a co-booking thing down the line.
Yeah. Get under his learning tree, learn as much as you can, and when you're ready, then that's the best way, I think.
And I'm gonna be learning from the managers that are gonna be at our first show.
So what's your manager's name called? What's your gimmick called? What's the character?
Right there on the.
The principal tap. Okay, but what does he look like? How do you go dress? You go dressed looking like Brother Love?
Nope. I'm going to do an alternation of a suit.
Uh-huh.
But instead of wearing the slacks, I'm going to wear short slacks.
Oh, short slacks.
Yeah.
Like
and then I'm going to carry around a clipboard with detention slips. And a yardstick.
That's funny. Right on.
Gotta make it comical somehow.
Yeah, of course. And annoying, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be a heel, right? So
yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna try to be a heel. He doesn't have a heelish bone in his body.
Oh, you'll learn. It's wrestling. It's pretending, you know.
I'll get it eventually. It's just not happening right now.
Shut up, Principal Tap Ass.
Detention.
Fuck you.
Didn't say ya.
I'm trying to teach you, see? Anyways, let's ask a couple more actually before we ask a couple more questions. So you've wrestled pretty much everyone in California. Have you run into a group called Big Money Exchange?
I haven't wrestled them. I know who they are, but I haven't worked with them yet. No.
We know their little greedy manager really well.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
How's that?
Big Money Dodge.
So how do you know him really well?
He used to
You
be
guys are
a
acquaintances?
co-host on the podcast.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So why don't you ask your final question there, Mr. Snippy Snip and Mr. Principal Tappy Ass?
So where can we find you on social media, and when's your next match?
All right, so I got two socials. I have a personal one on Instagram and then the wrestling one. Godfather of Swole. If you want to see pictures of my family and my kids and what I do, go to that one. If all wrestling related stuff, Godfather of Swole Mafia. That's my Instagram. On Facebook, you'll find me under my shoot name, Rafael Palma. If you want to add me there, it'll be under Godfather of Swole. But that's all I have. I have a YouTube channel, Godfather of Swole, where you can see all my matches. And my next match is October 21st here in Sacramento. I'm wrestling the Machine Tony Vargas, who is my trainer, who turned on me the night I won the belt. I won the belt for maybe 2 minutes. He gave me a hug, and then he turned on me and beat me up and beat up my son in front of me too. So we're doing a dog collar match. In the last match, he beat up my son. He beat up my brother. It's a whole crazy. He got my whole family involved, so now I got to kill him. So October 21st, dog collar match. I'm gonna whoop his ass. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat his ass to a bloody pulp.
Mine is not much of a question. I'm going to let you, the Godfather, rat and promote his match.
October 21st. Your boy, the Iron Addict, the Pump Chaser, the father figure, the OG that can still go, is going to go one-on-one with the Machine, Tony Vargas, in the dog collar match. That idiot thought he could put his hands on my son and get away with it. Well, I'm going to wrap that chain around his neck. I'm going to pull on that until I hear his neck snap. That's what I'm going to do. October 21st. See you guys there.
That was awesome. All right, Heartbreaker, you want to close us out?
Well, from one Braves fan growing up as a young kid to another, it was awesome having you on this podcast. To Principal Tap, who thinks his Dodgers are all that, who's going to be crying after this round when they actually lose. To Crippled Messiah, who just came back from a 5-day excursion, and thank God he did, because Kaiser Permanente has no end in strike for their strike. So thank God you escaped while you still could.
Amen.
It's been an honor. It was nice to come back finally after a 5-day layoff. So we're back. Tomorrow night we'll have, speaking of Inclusion Pro Wrestling and CPW, we will have the good son, Andrew Michelson, and the Spoiled Princess on our show tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. Until then, Crippled Messiah, you were the victim of it this time. So please, everybody out there, every man out there who has an ex, please behave and find it in your heart to have them spaded or neutered. Good night, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I had a blast.
No problem.